I get to the silk mill, which is literally just there, I'll tell you a little bit of history about it. So once I get there, I'm in the city then, and it'll all be blooming Ninars and all that sort of stuff. It's said to be the first factory ever built, 1721, which is interesting in itself. I mean, that's pretty cool, the first one ever built. But the story is actually a little bit more crazy than that. So it was opened by the Loom brothers, like I say, in 1721. It's known as Loom Mill to a lot of people. But there's a crazy story. So John Lombe, he went out to Italy in 1717 and he nicked the plans for it off the Italians, which is a bit wrong, isn't it? So he brought them back, showed his brother Thomas and said, here, check this out. So they built this factory in 1721. The King of Sardinia, you don't mess around with the Sardinians, do you? The King of Sardinia was said to be furious. And within a year, or less than a year, of this mill opening, John Lombe was brown bread in suspicious circumstances. And they say that the King of Sardinia sent an assassin to poison him. It's crazy, isn't it? Like I say, so much history you don't know about. I didn't know that, and I've lived here for years. When I first moved here, believe it or not, I lived just around the corner. This was actually a big block of modern flats, but they were built to such crazy specs, or rather, oh wow, that's cool, or rather not crazy specs, as in crazy good specs, that actually they were condemned like as soon as they opened. Which is weird, because normally, like, you see derelict buildings, they tend to be like old buildings, don't they? But I used to walk down here to Darley Park, and there was this massive derelict new build. It's quite weird. Obviously they've knocked it down now. Like I say, these are all railway lines, all this area. So we're nearly at the silk mill now. There's a really beautiful bridge here as well, which I'll show you a bit of footage of. And then we're in the city, they've got the cathedral. So what I'll do is I'll get to the silk mill, I'll send the drone up and get some cool footage of this whole area, and then I'll see you on the other side of that. So there's the old silk mill. I'll go around to the other side of it, see if I can't get some better footage around there. I tried my best with the drone, but it was going all over the shop. I guess because I was sat over the river, you know, it's a bit of a wind tunnel between these tall buildings, so that was a bit annoying, but I'll try and splice it up so it doesn't look quite as ropey. So it's a museum now, the old silk mill. Obviously, looking at this silk mill, this isn't from 1721. It's built on the footprint of that original mill. This one was built in the 1800s, and then it burnt down actually in 1910. But thanks to, well, I guess volunteers on the street, and also a lot of them from the Midland Railway, of all places, they managed to put the fire out so they could save the shell basically, but the inside was all totally wrecked, so they had to rebuild that again. But when you look round and you look at the tower, it looks kind of Italian, doesn't it? Do you get that? So it's almost like that's a bit of a nod and a wink to old thievey. See what I mean? It's got like an Italian vibe to it. There you go, museum in the making. John was the one that got poisoned, so they say. There's the Italian looking tower, look. These could be the original gates. They look older, don't they? And the fact that they're not actually keeping anyone out suggests that, you know, they're not part of this structure. Look at that, the world's first factory. It's mad, isn't it? That up there, talking of history, not the lad in the baseball cap, but the one on the horse, that's Bonnie Prince Charlie. That could be another walk.